from the winning manager now, because Enzo Maresca is with Becky.
Well, Enzo, you've come out with the 3 points, but ultimately it was a game that's going to have many talking points because of refereeing, VAR decisions. What is the Chelsea perspective right now of the game?
That we were not good enough first half, and we were brilliant second half. For me, this is the analysis from the game. First half, I think we didn't keep the ball. We didn't win duels that are against these kind of teams you need. And second half, we did the right things.
Do you think Chelsea were lucky at all today with any of the decisions that you got?
I don't think so, to be honest, because the foul is foul and the penalty is penalty. So for me, it's quite clear. And if I had some doubt, I will say, but it's quite clear that the foul is foul and the other one is handball.
Do you mean the Josh King goal being written off, the foul with Trevor Chalobah? I saw you explaining to the Fulham bench. What were you sort of saying to them? What were they saying back?
Yeah, no, I was trying just to explain them the foul, that for me is foul. But again, it's normal that they were trying to say that it was not foul. It's part of the game. But I think both decisions they were correct.
For the second goal, were you worried that João Pedro might have been penalised for a handball? Kenny Tete struck it. Were you worried about that?
No, was quite clear, the handball. So again, the idea was that was penalty, but then the review was a bit longer, to be honest, to wait. But at the end was penalty.
Speaking factually, there were 16 minutes of extra time, 8 at the first, 8 at the second half. When there hasn't been, thankfully, no major injury, is that just too long? Is VAR starting to dominate the game a little bit, becoming too involved?
Probably because both they were a bit difficult decision, so they required time to decide. But again, I think in that case the VAR has to take time and decide. Yeah, well, 8 first half, 8 second half, but we were winning, so it was okay.
Liam Delap went off early in the game, obviously wasn't in the game plan. Is it a hamstring there?
Yeah, hamstring was full speed, so hopefully it's not long, but this kind of case, this kind of injury, it's always, I don't know, can be 6-8 weeks.
And then just that first half, you said you didn't think that you played to the best. Sort of what was missing? What did you need to see more of?
For me, it was quite simple. We didn't play and build the game we want in the way we prepare. And also, in these kind of games, you need to win duels, second ball, and we didn't win any duels. And second half, we were brilliant.
And so, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, the news there from homework goes past behind me there. Liam Delap out for 6 to 8 weeks in a big blow for them. Cole Palmer obviously out at the moment, perhaps coming back soon after the international break with Badiashile as well. But he has said, Karen, that for sure we're going to have problems after that 64-game season last season. Do you think that is going to be an issue for them?
They also had the Club World Cup as well, didn't they? And then pre-season, and then have rolled straight into this. And some of their players will be going to the World Cup, we hope. So it's a long grueling season, and what happened last year, he was able to pick 2 different teams for Europe and for the Premier League. He won't be able to do that, so it's going to be interesting for him to manage.
Garnacho was here today. Do they need more business done by Monday, Joe? And if so, what?
I don't think they need more business done. I think that, sitting top of the Premier League, world champions, I think it's looking rosy at the moment. It really is. So I don't think any more business needs to be done. And it's too late now anyway. If you're not down the line with someone, a club like Chelsea can't be doing business this late in the line. Get your business done early and get ready for the season.
Media reaction to that one, and it is TNT Sport pundit special. Some of our esteemed colleagues getting involved in the action.
Say something. Where are they? Because I'm here working, and where are these pundits? What
They'll
beach
have
are they
their
on?
own theatre crowds. Farrell Williams saying VAR have got this decision wrong. Football is a contact sport. We can't be disallowing goals for this. And Rio Ferdinand has taken 5 minutes away from the beach in Dubai to say VAR is killing this young man's moment. Let's hear
Munoz. It was really, really well played by Fulham, and they played better at that time in the game. They deserved to be 1-0 up, and it's taken away from them, and I understand Marco Silva he's angry, and it's, for me, it's weak refereeing. I mean, come on, so much where it's just one referee would go to the screen and say, no, I saw this on the pitch, that's fine, I'm going to stick with what I... There's a rule. If they go through every little bit in the run-up to that, then that's a handball.
Yes or no? Was that a penalty?
Yes.
So
when
we've
it
reached
got
the right
to
decision.
it was a penalty, yes.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we're looking at two different situations with this VAR. Now, I'm saying at half-time that Rob Jones was put under immense pressure by VAR.
Yes and no, of course. They ended up with a penalty. It was a penalty. I still think, because Rob Jones is only like 10 yards away, I still think he should see that. Every other player on the pitch saw it and give the penalty. And then VAR go in, and then they check every little bit. But they started off checking every little bit running up to the handball, and then they gave the penalty. And it's 8 minutes. You know,
it was a long
this
time.
game was 106 minutes.
Which is one of the reasons why we must move on.
Oh, sorry about that.
Because Manchester United are kicking off shortly.
Well, João, an important 3 points for Chelsea. It was a game dominated by refereeing VAR decisions. What's kind of the talk of the dressing room right now?
No, the Gaffer said to us they had a good team, physical team. If we start win the first ball, second ball, you could have a more chance to win the game. And I think we didn't start very well, but we score. You had time in the halftime to organize the team, and I think the second half we did well. We won the game.
The timing of your goal important, right before the halftime break?
Yeah, like I said, we didn't start very well, but I think when I score, the team had more time to organize and then to go to the halftime.
Do you think Chelsea were lucky in certain decisions today? I know there's going to be questions around Trevor Chalobah incident.
Yeah, I think the ref make his decision. I don't have nothing to say about. But yeah, if he gave that, I think he was good for us.
Were you worried that you might have been penalised in the build-up to the second goal? It was eventually given as a penalty, but were you worried for a minute there?
No, I knew my hand was close to my body, so I just waited the decision of the ref, and in the end he gave the penalty for us.
Yeah, well, look at the handball as well. That led to that penalty in just a moment. But first of all, let's talk about the positive things in relation to João Pedro's game. It was him who got the opening goal, as he said there, just before half-time, Karen. But it was in the 9th minute of 8 added at the end of half-time, which caused some controversy in itself.
Yeah, I mean, I have to credit the delivery from Enzo, set pieces today, dead ball specialist with his corner, and obviously the penalty. But look, Pedro just peels off the goalkeeper, and Fulham are zonal marking so he can get into that space. And he mentioned first contacts, and that's equally the same in play but on set pieces, and the timing was impeccable to get the lead. And he mentioned it, they weren't playing great, they get in at half-time, and that was a game done and dusted for them then.
And he's got 5 goals, 2 assists in 6 games, all competitions since signing. Joe, what do you think of the way he's settling in?
He's had a great start. I thought early on in the game he looked like a lot of what the Chelsea thought. He wasn't at it, but he grew into it. He's a goal threat, we know that. He can play number 9, he can play number 10, he can play 11. He's got this swagger about him when he receives the ball, and he just hit the ground running. You know, and I think he was one of them which was more of not an afterthought when there's Steval come in from Brazil with big reputation. This kid, we've seen him play for Brighton, and then I think he's got the ability to go up levels. That's a lovely strike there. He's a great player, Kaz, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And you mentioned being in that 10, it was the sharp turns, because at times it was difficult for Chelsea to break Fulham down, but it's those individual quality moments that we're speaking about regularly. But and these moments are equally important, clearing it off the line, stopping it from being 2-1. But player of the match, and absolutely deserved it.
Believe it or not, at 23, he's the oldest signing Chelsea have made this summer. But don't you feel like he's already playing like a senior player here?
Yeah, the biggest
thing at the grand old age of 20.
The grand old age of this team is we're seeing them emerge and grow before your eyes. You know, these young players, and at 23, you know, he has to shoulder some of the responsibility, like they all do. But they're starting to see leaders emerge. Enzo's obviously a leader. Casado looks like a leader. Cucurella looks like a leader. So the team is emerging and growing. And big thing I would say about today is they didn't play well in the first half. They'll know that. They're big players. They know. But they managed to turn it around. And that's a great sign this early on in the season.
And 3 caps for Brazil. He's in the squad again, Karen. That's only going to help his growth as a player.
That's it. I mean, you spoke about it this morning, didn't you? About, World Cup year. Everybody wants to be there for the national teams. But he's in a great place at the moment. So he needs to just keep that going and that momentum.
Right, let's get into it. The moment everyone's been waiting for. Josh King thought he scored a special goal.
Yeah,
Joe, the first goal in a Fulham shirt. But Rob Jones went to the monitor after a VAR review was recommended and disallowed the goal. Just talk us through it from your perspective.
Well, from my perspective, Chelsea get themselves in a bit of a pickle. Chalobah has to go to win the ball here. Comes in there. Right, Mooney's he just listen, you cannot play football without touching someone. It's not a foul for me. Chalobah, I think, is very, very smart because he realises now, he knows his contact. That hurts, by the way. And he knows, I can't affect the game now on the counter-attack. But if something does happen and I lie on the floor, the referee may go back to VAR, which he did. So very smart from Chalobah. Players will always try and bend the rules to the best of their ability. That poor lad in the picture got taken away, a golden moment, not just of his career but of his life, and these Fulham fans as well, right? And the referee, his position was great as well. He saw the incident. Muniz is just leaning into him. There's going to be contact. It's not a sport where you cannot, bumps and things like that. So the referee's seen it, and then he's got called back, and then he's gone to the monitor. It just seemed it's too much for me, Linz. I don't like it.
We're going to talk more about the decision.
Yeah.
First of all, though, we're going to see what Josh King felt about that decision because he's with Becky.
Josh, I can't imagine how you must feel. You think you've scored your first goal for Fulham and then for be chalked off in the manner that it was. Do you have the words?
It's a hard feeling to describe. I think obviously scoring that emotion, the team and stuff, and that great feeling, and obviously it was a tough decision. I think it was a perfectly good goal, but obviously there's not much you can do, and we just had to try and pick ourselves back up and fight for the next 80, 70 minutes.
How tough was it today? Because it felt like every decision was going against you. And as players out there, you think you've gone ahead, it gets chalked off. And then there's questions, the timing of the goal, how many minutes was it that they played extra time? And then the third decision with the penalty, was there? It was like wave after wave.
Yeah, obviously, I feel like that's just a part of being a professional. And obviously there's going to be decisions which go against us. And we just sort of have to bounce back. But obviously it was a tough one to take to score, and then obviously going into the break, having conceded was a difficult one, but we just have to try and bounce back, really. It's all we can do. We can only control the controllables.
We're going to get Marco Silva in for a chat, but throughout the game, sort of what was his demeanour like at half-time for you guys? Well, obviously he's a really passionate person, and that sort of fires us up as well, and we just try to really work hard for each other, and it was a difficult one to take today because I think maybe we deserve more from the game, but it is what it is, and hopefully we can bounce back next week or 2 weeks' time. Yeah, international break now, but you must be so encouraged. That feeling you had when you thought you'd scored, it must make you want more. You must be excited to come back after the break. Yeah, 100%. I think it's probably one of the best feelings I've ever felt, to be honest. That elation, having the team around you and stuff, it was unbelievable, and hopefully I can replicate that and it'll be counted next time. Well, yeah, and to have the consecutive Premier League starts that you're having, what you've worked hard for. Yeah, 100%. And I'm really grateful to the manager for putting that faith in me, and obviously having these consecutive starts. I'm starting to find my feet, and hopefully, God willing, it continues. Well, thank you for talking to us. Appreciate it, and well done today. Thank you.
Yes, 3 consecutive starts, and what a start he's had. He spoke so well as well, Josh King. Obviously felt it was a perfectly good goal, as did many. Let's look back at that decision again, Karen, then. First of all, was it a careless tackle? And secondly, was it a clear and obvious error to instigate that VAR intervention?
I think Lucy mentioned it and I said it at half-time. I think the word careless tackle that was used by the referee, I think he'll go back and think, probably shouldn't say it because he's not careless, because he's using the ball, he's trying to do, we used to call it the Maradona term, I don't know about you, he's trying to do that movement and he's focusing on that. That's not careless, he's trying to
that just happens
ball.
In football,
and in football people tread on your feet all the time. It happened to me, it happened to Joe, I'm sure. So I think he might, but we have to respect that referees aren't trained throughout their lives as referees to come out and tell everybody what they're thinking. So I think he might reflect back and go, I probably shouldn't have said that.
But he still disallowed the goal, so he clearly felt...
Yeah, so I think the goal should have stood. I think it's not a clear and obvious error. And I think what Josh said there in his interview, he used words like emotion and feeling, and he mentioned the word passion. And we want to bring in technology to make our game better, but we can't remove emotion, feeling and passion, because as players, managers and fans, that's what football's about. So the decisions have to be right. I don't think VAR should have got involved. I think we should be celebrating an 18-year-old's fantastic goal, and we're not. And I think, look, Chelsea will be like, thank goodness, but I really feel for him.
Does it make you sad, Joel, that this kind of passion and emotion that we potentially could lose this from the game?
Yeah, well, listen, this is an impassioned plea for football, because, you know, Karen's right. Technology can come in and improve the game. I'm thinking goal line technology. Yeah, that's good. The offside line, that's good. But this is too much. And what's going for the governing bodies to run it back, you have to think all of them. There's a lot of money that's gone into it. There's a lot of jobs around the world, a lot of technology, you know. But sometimes you have to say, look, is the juice worth the squeeze? Like, what is it giving us?
Sorry.
What is it? No, but what I mean is what is it giving us as a football? Because you come to football, you don't come to football to be to wait around for somebody in an office to slow down an incident and decide whether or not. Football isn't that. It's flowing. It's even that word they use, careless tackle. Like, you're not thinking about taking care when you go in for a tackle. When it's red-blooded and you're going for it.
Are we going to make it a non-contact sport if we say that's not okay?
It's already going like that, you know. And you know, you want to stop people trying to nail someone and hurt someone. That needs to come out of the game. But with all this technology that's coming in, careless tackle, 4 or 5 people looking at it, slowing it down, it's not good for football. And I'm not having that they say it's across the board people want this in football. I've not met anyone in football, ex-players who I sit with every week, saying, do you like VAR? Not really. It's better how it used to be. You watch the Championship football and it's full blood in its heart and there's blood and guts. It's fantastic. I said, and we, Premier League, we've got the best players in the world, and I think we'd be better off just getting rid of it or keeping tiny parts of it.
Welcome back. Chelsea beating Fulham 2-0 in this West London derby. Let's have a look at the second goal then for Chelsea. It came from the penalty spot, Enzo Fernandez, but there was another VAR intervention here.
Yeah, I mean, I call it live in the game. I thought it was a handball there for João Pedro in that live moment. Look, I don't think there's any argument about this one where the cross has gone in. I do think Enzo is right. His arm is out of his natural position, and but this was the one I was curious about. I thought that was a handball. This one, I agree as well, was a handball. But if you go back to the original one, I don't think it should have got to this place in the first place. That's my opinion anyway.
The decision was, you know, yes to the Sessegnon handball, no to the Pedro one. Did you agree with that, Joel?
No, I think it's definitely a penalty from Sessegnon. I disagree with Kaz. I think he can't get his hands out of the way. It's just bouncing around. But I think the reason they took so long, because they wanted to be absolutely sure, because I think they must have been sitting there thinking we might have got the first decision wrong, and then all of a sudden you get a 6-minute delay and then a 4-minute delay. The game goes on for 110 minutes again. So VAR was brought in to try and take away that sort of subjectiveness, and it's still there.
Took 4.5 minutes to make that decision, Karen. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, but right now we want to get the reaction of Marco Silva because he's just joined Becky.
Marco, I mean, there's so many talking points within that game. It's difficult to know where to start, but can you just give us how you feel right now?
For someone that loves football, of course, I'm here as a Fulham manager, but someone that loves football as a manager, former football player, as a fan, sometimes when I come just to watch a game, I feel sad, really, just that.
What do you feel most sad about?
No, because it's clear. I think we derby game, special game for everybody, the best competition in the world, with millions and millions of people watching on TV and all that stuff. And I saw my team playing outstanding football first half, outstanding football, playing football, not trying to be fake or go in direction that we to come here to park the bus or something like that. We know the difference of the pitch, We know that financial point of view, the size and all that stuff, they are in a different planet. But on the pitch, we knew that what we are capable of, and I think we did show. The boys, they were outstanding, and everybody's down there. After what's happened last week with us, all that controversy in the game against Man United, all the decisions from the VAR that people cannot understand. One time goes in one direction, the other time is going in a different direction. But similar things for the opposition, for us, they decide in a different way. We are here always to learn. We are here to make the people, our players, to understand things. But if it's not a direction, it's almost impossible for me to make them to feel that it's going to be balanced in the end. That's the thing. Performance-wise, outstanding first half. All the decisions from the VAR, all the decisions from the referee made a massive impact in the game. And second half was not at the level that I would like to see our team. I told them we cannot control all the decisions they were against us. How you disallow a goal like that one is unbelievable. It's not something that you can. Unbelievable. We have meetings, and all the meetings with the referees, with the people that is in charge, that we all respect. We go for the meetings. All of us, we want to win. Of course, when it's against us, we feel more. When probably Enzo this afternoon is not feeling the same than myself, but we go there to try to see a direction in things. And one of the main things, VAR is not here to referee the game, is to see things, the protocols, to see things clear. And for us, and I think for all the world, just for the person that was there, was not something unbelievable to how disallow that goal. For me, it's unbelievable, really. And of course, after everything is story, you can talk about many things. I would prefer to don't say nothing more, because I will be punished, and I want to be on the bench in the next game. I don't want to pay fines. I want to help our players, but it's being difficult for us this start of the season with so many decisions that doesn't come in our in the way that should. That is our way, really. But it's what it is, and let's move on.
I respect you want to be careful in your words, but I do want to ask, do you feel VAR is becoming too involved in the game? We had 60 minutes of extra time with no major injuries.
I would love to explain you many things. For example, the first goal. My job is to prepare my players. We are going to analyze. 8 minutes extra time. First corner. After the first corner was already 9 minutes. They had the first corner in the 8th minute. Danger moment. If it's for me, I would like to see a corner. 8 minutes. They won the second corner, already 9 minutes extra time. He has to stop the game. It's by the rules. He has to stop the games. I'm not saying that is my opinion. By the rules. I asked the referee. He told me, because we lost time, I was speaking with one player. I checked the 8 minutes now. I checked all the 8 minutes. The game didn't stop 1 second. What I can say to you, I'm the manager. I try to do my best with my players, with my football club. Okay, Chelsea won the game, and we move on.
I completely respect you being so open and honest, and we do really appreciate that. What can be done? Can anything be done? Because it must be so hard to just accept and take it on the chin.
It's very difficult to be so many things for me to say. What is being done is to be. I just mentioned to you 2 things that by the rules is by the protocol is not something that is because I make mistakes. The referee, they can make mistakes. The Premier League is so intense, it's so tough, all that stuff. But when it's black or white, it has to be black or white. We cannot see something that was not there. And this is the thing for us. And what is being done is not for me to decide. I decide what my players they are going to do next training session in the next game. All the other things I can't. I would like to understand, because for me it's more about understanding the decisions, understanding how they follow the protocols, understanding how they follow the rules, and that is the main thing for me, because sometimes I'm going to be pleased with the results and sometimes it's not against me, other times it's going to be against me, like this afternoon, like last game. In 8 days 2 times with things that is impossible for us to understand is too much for us.
Bringing it back to a Fulham focus, there are a couple of days of the transfer window left. What do you hope? What do you expect? What do you need? What do you ask for?
Probably I'm not in the best mood to talk about it because it's another situation. Is what I said to you. The things that we
there off the pitch, the difference is massive for this type of clubs. We don't have the same conditions that most of the teams in this level. It's already too late. Let's see what the club is going to do. I think the club is going to do something to help this group of players. We need help. We are short in many positions there, but let's see what they're going to do. They are trying to do their maximum for sure until the end of the market, and let's hope we can sign players that can help us to perform and to keep improving and developing this football club like we have been doing so in the last few seasons.
Marco, I really appreciate time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Marco Silva saying he wants to be in the dugout for Fulham's next game. He was very measured in expressing his emotions there, but he said as a former player, as a manager, as a football fan, he just feels sad.
We spoke about it, said the emotions, the feelings, the passion, that all goes, doesn't it? Because you want to try and keep that in the game. Like I said earlier, the technology is to make the game better, quicker, more efficient, and it hasn't been today. And even the time, we were speaking to Joe off air saying about goalkeepers need to speed up their play, run to take throw-ins, speed up the play, substitutions, everything needs to speed up. But it took how many minutes to make decisions today? So I think the VAR team will go back and reflect. I think it was the wrong decision and we should be celebrating an 18-year-old's fantastic goal.
And he mentioned re-refereeing the game. By PGMOL's own guidelines, they say that they want a very high threshold for intervention. It has to be clear and obvious.
Yeah.
And they don't want to re-referee the game, Joel. Is that what happened today?
No. So from the PGMOL and the referees, I don't want this to be like a batter in them. They've almost got an impossible task because you're asking them to make something black and white, which isn't. It's football's nuanced, right? So they're trying to do their job. They're referees. They're probably trying to get to the top in their profession, and they got there and they're trying to do it. Beck asked the question, what can be done to change this? Right? We can go, right, we've had this experiment now for, 5-10 years, wherever long it's been. Right, so what we found out that we figured out goal line technology. That's great. We love that. The offsides, quick offsides, automated offsides.
And we do need to remember there are a huge proportion of wrong decisions which are corrected by VAR.
Good stuff as well. We must remember that.
Yeah, so that's good, right? So they do get things wrong, right? And they do get things right. So what needs to be done? And the people who are driving it, who've pushed it, and that need to get into a room and sit down and do an appraisal and go, right, what is this? What is it? Right? We get 20% better decisions in football matches at the cost of annoying and aggravating most football fans in the world, taking the passion, the drama, the excitement out of the immediacy of a football game, right? Right? Do we think this? Are we going to continue with this thing? Because I think if you took a consensus of all football fans, people, managers, and players, they would be, no, this hasn't worked, but this tiny bit of it has. So they all need to get in the room, put their egos aside.
They need to write on the whiteboard, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Is the juice worth the squeeze? I'll go with them and explain to them, say, look, and then, but the thing is, it's very hard, Linz, when you've made a mistake and you're going down a road to do a U-turn and admit to yourself. Sometimes it's harder for people to admit that they've made a mistake. It's easy. The easy thing to do is just keep going. The years will pass, it will just become a fixture. But football's, you've seen the emotion from that young man today, scored the goal, Josh King, the manager. And I'm pretty sure they'd say that Premier League has full backing for VAR. But who's the people that are making the decision? Premier League fans, who are probably the most important people, the people that pay their money to watch football, that keep it going. Premier League managers, I'm not so sure they would all do that. And certainly the players, I think, would prefer it gone. So, I mean, maybe I'm off target here, but I think we're better off without it.
Some strong views today. VAR certainly becoming the story at the end.